Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Today we're kicking off with Bobo 1877 in his Su-26 Russian Tier 3 artillery with the turret. And this is, you're going to see the winning replay in this roundup. Now, in previous replay roundups, I've kind of kept the better games to the end, and I've done that this time too. But I've also interspersed the previous replay roundups with some really good games too, because I just had too many really good artillery replays. So, you know, there have been games in previous roundups which could quite easily have ended up in this runners-up and winner roundup, if you like, because they were just as good. Speaking of games that were just as good, well, here's Bobo in his Su-26. And this game is running at normal speed. Normally with artillery replays I tend to speed them up to double speed just because artillery takes so long to aim and fire and reload. Not so the Su-26.
That was close.
And you tend to find, I mean, one of the things that will put an experienced player ahead, not just the fact that he's an experienced player, also the fact that experienced players playing these little things at low tiers, there's his first kill, tend to be playing with 100% crews, gun rammers, gun laying drives, all the good stuff. It gives them a big advantage over the guys who are just grinding their way up from the low tiers. You know, obviously. There's his second kill. Tier 4 medium, M3 Lee, straight in the side armour. One shot, dead. So the initial push from the enemy team seems to be coming from the obvious direction over the dunes here. Where did that T... Oh, there he is. Oh, it's taken a lot of shots to get this T-28 down. But some of the luckiest T-28 driver in the world. He keeps just... It's as if he's got some sort of sixth sense that tells him there's an artillery shell on the way. He just keeps moving. He's doing alright. Yeah, he's moved again. Okay, now, the team's going for the cap. We're losing 3-5. We've got at least 3 tanks in the cap circle. Oh, here comes a heavy. Okay, now he's going to need to be careful because that T-82... Okay, T-82's dead, doesn't need to be careful anymore. Panzer III... He's left the Panzer III to deal with the B1. Because this D2's coming around the flank. There's more of a threat to him. There's nothing here but artillery to shoot at this D2, so... the D2's a heavily armoured little medium. Got a shot on the side armour, and the B1's dead. Hetzer nails him. Now, he makes a couple of decisions here, and he's basically making assumptions based on the competence of his teammates, and that can always get you into trouble. Just watch my Science of Fail video if you need any further proof of that. So, he's got a Hetzer and an AMX-40 to shoot at. There are 2 friendlies in the cap circle, so he's going for the Hetzer, figuring that these 2 friendlies can nail the AMX-40. Hetzer disappears, so he switches his fire to the AMX-40. It's a hit. Okay, AMX-40 on half health, 2 friendly tanks left to deal with him. Fine. Leave them to deal with the AMX. Nail the AMX as support. Fortunately, when you make assumptions based on the competence of your teammates, you tend to get disappointed because, oh, there we go, they're both dead.
That was close.
Now, it's debatable. Should he have stayed on the AMX-40, knowing that he hadn't finished off that Hetzer and he was moving up? Well, you know, would have, should have, could have, didn't. Now they're losing 8-11. Now they've got a Valentine who was keeping an eye on the northern flank from the hilltop, and he's moving around in the enemy spawn. And a Hetzer is now moving forward into the cap circle because we've got at least 3 enemy tanks sitting in the cap, and the Valentine's just spotted the enemy artillery, and Bobo doesn't need any further invitation, and he's just inside range to kill these guys. So there goes the Su-26, and there goes the BS. As soon as he reloads, just look at how fast Su-26 is firing.
Gotcha.
And they're devastatingly accurate. Okay, so now the Valentine can come around from one side with the Hetzer coming around from the other side. And again, Bobo starts making some assumptions here about the competence of his teammates. So the Hetzer's just run into a T-28. So he takes a shot at the T-28, kills him. That's cleared the way for the Hetzer. There's a South 40 over there, and there's the AMX-40. Now, a Hetzer can kill an AMX-40. AMX-40 is very well armoured at Tier 4, but a Hetzer's got the gun to deal with it. Meanwhile, we've got these two guys here.
That was close.
Turning around to threaten the Valentine. And the South 40 certainly has a gun that can kill a Valentine.
Penetration.
Oh crap, the Hetzer's in trouble. In fact, the Hetzer even had his back to that AMX-40. Luckily, our other artillery, the M37, nailed the Hetzer. And don't forget, Bobo isn't the only artillery player here. He kills the M2, he kills the South 40, and then the Hetzer defends itself, fires a fraction of a second too late, and the Valentine kills the Hetzer from behind. And then Bobo has one shot left. He's fired all but one of his ammunition, and he's got 10 kills. And I wasn't even keeping track of the scores because the game was just so intense. It wasn't until literally right at the end of the replay I looked up and I saw the score and I thought, oh my god. So that's Bobo 1877, an expert SU-26 driver, just showing you the kind of carnage a well-played SU-26 can cause in a Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5 game. Just an amazing little machine, driven by a very, very good driver. Next up, it's Maverick 92 again in his Object 212, Russian Tier 7 artillery. This is a Tier 10 game on Serene Coast from patch 7.5.
Time to roll out.
The first, I'm just going to let this thing run at normal speed, just so you can get an appreciation of how long this thing takes, how slow it is, how long it takes to load, how long it takes to aim. Then we'll speed things up. Look at that. 8 kilometers an hour going up this hill. Let's just expand the map slightly so you can see more of what's going on. Okay, and he's finally loaded, and he's still moving. You can see him turning on the map. Trying to bring his gun around. And he's aiming, he's aiming, he's aiming. IS-4 there. Is it an IS-4? Oh, T-54 on the hill. Just so you can get an appreciation of how long it takes artillery to actually aim and fire at you. And some idea of how quickly you need to move if you've been spotted. Look at the size of the aiming circle. Okay, so he's moving again, getting himself into a better firing position. He pretty much stopped there because targets popped up. This isn't where he actually wanted to be. There's a 704. 704 knows he's been spotted. He knows there's 3 big artillery in this game. He takes the shot. Misses. Might have splashed him. Probably didn't. So now I'm going to speed things up. Just so you've got an idea of how slow this thing moves, how long it takes to load, and how long it takes to aim. And there's that T-54. Now, that T-54 was in a bad spot, and I think he knows it. Unfortunately, he's just been tracked, and every gun in the game just zeroes in on him. So, yeah, he's screwed. So there's Maverick's first kill. Now the T-34... Oh, AMX-12T's moving in, but no problem. E-50 kills him. Tiger 2, boom. Second kill. So there's M103 on the coastline over there. But this Tiger 2 and T-54 were not alone on top of this hill. And enemy artillery is very effective in this game too. They've got 2 kills already. There's a T-32. Oh, big old hit on that T-32. 827 damage. And there comes counter battery fire, and this is why you have to relocate after you're fired when you're driving artillery. You always have to assume that somebody else is watching you. Oh, Top 59 got himself damo racked trying to kill that object.
The engine is smoking.
Watch this E75. Yep, he hit him. Didn't kill him, but he hit him. You saw the shot go in, you didn't see an explosion. That means he hit the target. Now, Maverick's actually, he's using a speed governor here, and he actually managed to damage his own engine by relocating so fast. But so he's used his repair kit to get his engine back up. He knows that E75's over there somewhere. Enemy artillery spotted. And it's gone. Missed a bit of an opportunity there.
That was close.
Good hit on that IS-8, and then E75 finishes him off and he relocates. And he's still moving, because you can steer using the map. So while moving, he's still looking for targets. And what's the C75?
Find another target.
E75 thought he was safe from Artie. Yeah, he wasn't. There's his third kill. There's an enemy M103 making a suicide rush here, and he's not going to survive this. E75 finishes him off too. But based on where the enemy team are, he knows he doesn't have very good shots from that position, so he relocates. He uses his removed speed governor to get up there a little faster. That object just got spotted again, but he wasn't in a position to take the shot, so there's an IS-7 behind that rock. Okay, so he moves up a little bit more to get a clearer shot at the IS-7. Yep, and he can probably hit that IS-7 from here if somebody just spots him. Now we've got a T-30 on the other side of the railway line. Takes a shot, and yeah, it might have hit him, might have splashed him, might not, don't know. Well, didn't hit him, but might have splashed him. Fires, relocates. Enemy T-30. Doesn't really have a shot at that guy unless he backs up. But there's every chance he is going to back up because of what's coming, and he gets him. There's his fourth kill. And he kind of has a shot at that IS-7, and there's an Object 704 keeps popping in and out of vision there. Fires, misses the IS-7. And that costs him a shot at the 704. But the team as a whole have played pretty well here. Oh, enemy Artie spotted. And he is not going to get away. There's the shot. Boom. Kill number 5. Object 704 is having serious problems. IS-7. Come on, reload. Gotcha. Top Gun. But he ain't done yet. And there's the enemy Object 212. IS-7's dead. Snapshot fire. Boom. 7 kills. Oh, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. 7 kills in a tier 10 game in your tier 7 artillery. Not bad at all. Although, to be completely fair, the team as a whole did very well in that game. They just outplayed the opposition, but it doesn't hurt to have an artillery player like that on your team. But Artie is only as good as the team that they're in. Artie can only shoot at targets that the team spots, and the team did very well to feed targets to the artillery in this game, and the artillery won the game for them. But very, very well done to all concerned, and very, very well played indeed. Maverick 92 in his Object 212, getting himself a Top Gun and doing a metric butt ton of damage to the enemy team. Next, we have Aslak in his Object 261 Russian Tier 8 artillery. Some seriously big guns in play in this game. This is a Tier 10 standard battle on Erlenberg. Well, you know, the videos that you're seeing tonight, in my opinion at least, were all spectacularly entertaining and some exceptionally skilled artillery play. assisted in large part by, you know, decent teams or enemy teams making mistakes. But, you know, if you want to see games where people don't make mistakes, don't play World of Tanks. So, Aslak is in an artillery platoon with his friend Hovenator. Standard battle on Erlenberg. Let's speed things up, because, you know, tier 8 artillery takes absolutely forever to aim, move, reposition, fire, reload, etc, etc, etc. So here we go. And now there's first contact, enemy T-54. And standard place where usually, oh, holy crap, that's a lot of enemy tanks. And Aslak has a really frustrating first half of this game. I mean, he's aiming at the right targets, but he just can't bloody hit them. Tiny little bit of splash damage there on that IS-3, just as he fires the IS-3 moves. And, you know, you guys pay attention to this, just, you don't have to move much to mess up artillery trying to shoot at you. That one went short and hit the hillside. Just every couple of seconds, random, unpredictable movements. It can be the difference between life and death. He would have destroyed that IS-3 if that IS-3 hadn't moved forward 10 feet. Okay, there's his first kill. He nails that E75, but this is, we're in serious trouble here. We got one E75, and he backs up to avoid being outflanked, and that makes him an easier target for the enemy M40. And now, Aslak and Hovenator have got to make a choice. There's a blitzkrieg of enemy armour coming over that bridge. They can run for it, or they can stop because somebody's just spotted enemy artillery. So instead of guaranteeing his own safety, he stops to take a shot and misses anyway, and now he's screwed. Now he's stuck here. There's enemy tanks coming over that bridge in the south, and he's waited too long. Both he and Hovenator stopped and turned round to take shots at enemy artillery that have been spotted, and that's cost them their retreat. So now they have to stay and fight and hope that this heavy moving down at the south can corner what's coming over the bridge. But this is where the enemy team make their mistake. They're not coming over the bridge. Instead, they made a left turn and hooked up and stayed on their side of the river and moved up into the town. So Hovenator and Aslak are actually quite safe down here. Now from this point on, you're going to see Aslak swapping between high explosive and armour piercing shots. And he's desperately flicking the camera around here. This is going to be quite disorientating, I apologise. Slow it right down here while he takes, see the shot he takes of this Jagdpanzer E100. Unfortunately, while he's frantically flicking around there trying to find targets, it can be quite, oh, whoa, that big old, well, he gets a good hit into the Jagdpanzer E100, but it doesn't appear to have done much other than take a chunk of his health off. His tracks are intact. Yeah, it's difficult to tell. But the Jagdpanzer E100 came around the corner and just derped that E75 to death. And then suddenly we're down to, there's only 5 of us versus 7 of them. And we only know where this T-32 is. So we have an IS-4 who is very cautiously probing across the bridge in the south. And nice shot. IS-4 managed to take that T-32 from the side. There he is. Now he knows a whole bunch of enemy armour came around this bottom corner, but none of them came over the bridge, which means that there's a whole bunch of them with flanking shots on that IS-4 if he tries to go further up that road, because they're all in the town here. Now Aslak knows that as well as everybody else. They have a T-110E4 who's guarding the cap, and the friendly M40 starts going on a scouting run up over the northern bridge. And it's the sensible thing to do, because if you're in a team where the majority of the surviving tanks are artillery, you need to spot enemy tanks. Here's an IS. IS is angling to get shots in at that IS-4. Unfortunately, okay, the IS-4 is moving up. Yep, spotted him again. We're going to have him. We're going to have him. Hovenator fires, misses. M40 fires. Aslak gets him. he sees the M40 moving up around to the corner, so he's trying to keep an eye. I mean, we know there's at least... Oh, there's a Jagdpanzer E100. There's a Jagdtiger running around there somewhere. And where we're looking now is roughly more or less where that Jagdpanzer E100 is. If you look at the map, you can see... I'm going to speed things up again. You can see the T110E4 is moving forward trying to spot. And, you know, trying to kill as well. But there's 3 artillery left on the enemy team too. And they've got 5 kills amongst them. God alone knows how much damage inflicted. And there we go, 261 spotted. IS-4's got him. And he is not going to survive this. There's kill number 4. And he's watching the corner, because there may be... Oh! There's the E100. And he's loaded armor piercing because he wants to one-shot kill this guy, but with armor piercing you have to hit him. There's no splash damage with armor piercing ammo. A miss doesn't do anything. He's begging, well, he isn't, Hovenator is begging the T110, just please stay alive, because his ability to spot enemy tanks coming is more valuable at this point than his ability to do damage. Here comes the Jagdtiger, bang, direct hit, dead. Kill number 5. And he's relocating. Now, he's backing up here to get a better shot, trying to get a better shot over the buildings. And he knows that Jagdpanzer is around there somewhere. Unfortunately, they've lost their IS-4. And the M40 he's making a break over the bridge, so he switches fire, and there. That's why he moved to this side, because he saw the M40 moving over the bridge, and boom, there goes their M40. Our M40 keeps moving, he's not stupid, and spots the Jagdpanzer. It may have been the T110E4 who spotted him. Either way, he spotted him. Now, Aslak knows where he is. He also knows he doesn't have a shot at him there, so he moves. See, a lot of bad artillery players will stay glued to one position throughout the entire map. Now, the E100 knows where these artillery fire is coming from, so he's basically parked himself in this alley where Artie can't hit him. Well, Artie can't hit him unless it moves, so Hovenator gets a shot in, splashes him with HE, and bang. And that's why you relocate. I mean, you relocate when you're playing artillery for 2 reasons. 1, so you don't get counter-battered by enemy artillery who are watching for your tracer, and 2, you can't cover the entire map from one spot. And now, of course, with 3 of them left alive, and 1 enemy artillery, the best thing they can do is go for the cap. Most of the games that I play right now, there'll be somebody shouting "no cap, kill all" and threatening to shoot us for going in the cap circle. But if you want to find out where that enemy artillery is, sit in the cap circle. You give him a choice. He has to either come and try and kill you, or lose. It's that simple. It's just basic tactics. You can see him taking a pot shot there. And oh, there he is. And we just too slow. We capped just before we could turn around and get an 8th kill. So an incredibly good game there. And it started off very frustratingly because the shots he was firing at the cluster of tanks coming around the south eastern corner of the hill here, there was just so many of them, and he just couldn't hit any of them until he eventually started getting his range, and he killed an E75 from there on in. It was just carnage. Had a little bit of luck. He made the right decision when he saw these guys coming around the corner and over the bridge here. He had a choice, because at the exact same point scouts spotted enemy artillery over here, so run for it and stay safe, or stop, take the chance that you're going to get overrun and take out the enemy artillery. As it happens, he missed the enemy artillery anyway, but the enemy team did not come over the bridge, so he ended up being safe here. Instead, the enemy team took a left turn and lined up in the town here, and that arguably cost them the game, because if they'd pushed over the bridge, they'd have nailed the artillery, and Aslak wouldn't be sitting here having killed 7 of them. But they didn't, so he did. Haha, sucks to be you. So that was Aslak. Great game in his Object 261. Of course, that means now it's time for the winner. Ladies and gentlefolk, I am very happy to present Bobo in his Object 212, playing an assault game on Sand River from patch 7.5. He's been featured multiple times in these roundups, not just artillery. I actually gave him a subscriber spotlight in the tank destroyer section. He is an incredibly good player in a wide variety of vehicles, and we've seen some incredible games today. Well, not just today. There have been some incredibly good games interspersed amongst the other artillery replay roundups, and I just felt that I could not continue featuring Bobo's amazing games without giving him some gold at some point. It just wouldn't have been fair to keep showing great game after great game after great game and then somebody else winning. And that is pretty much, I mean, this is a great game. The other replays you've seen today, in my opinion, are all great games. But Bobo has sent in so many consistently good games that I felt it was about time he won some gold for his efforts. And so here is yet another great game from Bobo, this time in his Object 212. Unfortunately, of course, his first shot misses. Me and my big mouth. No, trust me, really, it gets better. He's like me, I always miss with my first shot as well. You know, great minds think alike and all that. Or is it fools never differ? Those two are so easy to confuse. Okay, come on, Bobo. You're making me look bad now. Kill this M103. Come on, Bobo. Big juicy American heavy tank for you. He's only on 700 health. You can have him. Go on, Bobo. Go on, Bobo. Don't let me down, son. Okay, 497 health. Have him. That's my boy. Right, now let's speed things up. So, T-62A coming around. This is the immediate threat to artillery. T-62A's come around the side here, and God alone only knows what else has come with it. We don't really have anybody with eyes around the corner until another medium moves down, and then we spot this Panther 2 coming up. So, sayonara, sucker. There's kill number 2. Now, there's some big tanks going around that corner, but that T-62 is spotting them all, and check this out. I'm just going to pause the game right at this spot, just so you can follow the way Bobo's mind is working here, and follow the cursor. Right. T-62A comes around the corner. Panther comes over the side here. Medium moves down, spots the Panther. Bobo nails the Panther. We got a whole cluster of heavy tanks here who really should be over here by now, but they're afraid of enemy artillery, and they know that this T-62A, while not being a massive threat by himself, well, actually is quite a large threat by himself. It's the fact that he's spotting them all for artillery, so they're in no rush to leave the safety and get around the corner. And they eventually decide to start going around, but just because we can only see a T-62A here doesn't mean that there's nothing else coming up here, because nobody had gone around the corner. Bobo sees them move and immediately just knows what's going to happen next, because this T-62A is now lighting all of these guys up. So the second he sees that happen, he switches to where the likely enemy artillery is, and is rewarded by artillery tracer. Right there. That's exactly what he's looking for. Here we go. Now he's seen both of them. And he fires. Doesn't hit any. Well, he doesn't kill anything. Now we saw artillery tracer. There it is again. This guy has not moved. Now, seriously. So he's moving up here himself. Now, just remember how long... Bear in mind you're watching this at double speed. Right? And this is why you always move after you've fired when you're in artillery. Right, Bobo moves for a better firing angle. And he remembers the spot where that guy fired 2 shots from. And kills him. He hadn't moved at all. That's why you always relocate after you've fired when you're in artillery, because you never know who's watching. And he's keeping an eye out for other tracer, but whoever the other fella is, he must have relocated because he can't see him firing. So, okay, let's just kill this Nova with a bit of splash damage. And, oh, what we got there? That T-62A. Oh, no, it's another Panther 2. Okay. Jagdtiger nails him. And this is such a nice kill on this Object 268. What's this? Aims for the engine deck. Boom. Hits him, sets him on fire, watches him burn to death. Bang. Kill number 5. This game was just so much fun to watch. Watch that AMX-12T. Right, pay attention. We're going to come back to him later. Bam! There goes the T-30. Oh, E-100's in trouble here. Yeah, E-100, and I think there's a Jagdtiger just to his rear. There's a lot of bad guys coming over the side there. And there's an enemy E-100. Okay, I'm going to slow this down to real time. Watch this. 12T, moving at full speed, on full health. Boom! Headshot! I personally, I wouldn't be able to aim at this point. I'd be laughing my ass off so much if I was the artillery that took that shot. So, yeah, speed things up again. Now, IS-7, E-100. And this E-100 is in trouble. However, how many artillery players do you know who would have fired at this point and probably just killed their IS-7? Now, Bobo wants to help the IS-7 out. There's another medium coming up to support. But he can't shoot. He knows what he can shoot. Watch. He knows he can help. He just needs to make sure that the IS-7 doesn't get hit by the splash. So he aims off to the side. He's looking for that spot. There it is. Bang. Does what he can. And that IS-7 actually got hit by friendly fire from the rear there. Looked like one of the tank destroyers. There goes the enemy artillery. He's screwed now. There's only 2 of them left. He gets nailed by the E-100. And all they have left is a 4502P. And that was a hell of a game. Where's the 4502P hiding? And he will be hiding. As tanks close in on the cap circle from all sides. IS-7, E-100, Jagdtiger, E-50, all moving in. Is he hiding up here? I think it's the IS-7 who's actually going to find him. There he is. And who's going to get the kill? We're on 7 kills. Can we make it 8? The volume of fire that must be coming towards this 4502P. And we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and we fire, and we hit him at more or less exactly the same time as the Jagdtiger. So a split second sooner, we'd have gotten 8 kills. So that was Bobo, and he submitted some fantastic artillery replays. I just loved this one more than the others. I mean, look at that. You can't argue with that. Top Gun. In the 2-1-2, Bobo playing a really, really entertaining Object 2-1-2 match. The winner of 5,500 gold. So congratulations, Bobo. Thank you to everybody who sent the artillery replays in. There were still a few that I didn't really have time to show you because I wanted to move on to medium tanks, but I may use them in future videos. So thank you to everybody who sent in artillery replays, and coming tomorrow, the medium tank roundups. And I desperately want to be able to announce a medium tank winner before or on Christmas Day. So 25th of December. Now, I have had hundreds of medium tank replays sent in. I'm not making this up. Actually, literally hundreds of medium tank replays. There is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to show all of them. So, in fact, I'm not even going to be able to show you all of the best ones. There are just too many of them. So, bear that in mind when you're looking at the medium tank replays. If you don't see your replay, there's probably a bloody good reason for it. There were just too many of them. But that's to come tomorrow, so you got that to look forward to. In the meantime, your congratulations, please, not just for Bobo for winning, but for everybody who was featured in the artillery replays, because the majority of them, there were some lucky games in there, but the majority were really, really well played. And I hope that you non-artillery players learn a thing or two from watching how a pro artillery player does their thing, and will help you survive artillery better when you're playing your games on the live server. As always, take care on the battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.